Hello students, today we will be going over a worksheet and the title is the Elephants Gamble Worksheet. Do elephants know how to gamble? This is going to be a review of square roots or radicals, and so it says simplify each expression below. Assume that all variables represent non-negative numbers. Find your answer in the corresponding set of answer boxes. Print the letter of the exercise in the box above the answer. Okay, so we're going to start out with T is the square root of 9x squared. Now, we can do a factor tree of 9 of 3 times 3. We can also do a factor tree of x squared. It's x and x. So when you take the square root of something, it has to have a pair. So the square root of 9 we know is 3 times 3. So we take the square root of 9, 1 3 comes out and 1 goes away. 1x comes out and 1 goes away. So we're left with 3x. So then we look at our paper and we go to where 3x is. We find it a little bit to the right of middle, and above that 3x we put a T above that 3x. Okay, now let's go on to H, 12x squared square root. So I can go 4 times 3 and I can go 2 times 2. So here we have a pair of 2's and a 3 and an x and an x. There's our prime factorization for H. So we say there's a pair of 2's, 1 goes away, 1 comes out. There's an x, 2 x's, 1 comes out, 1 goes away. We also have a 3 right there. So if a 2 comes out and an x comes out, what are we left inside? Square root of 3. So we look for that on our paper, 2x square root of 3. It's the second one over, and we put a h in that spot above 2x times the square root of 3. Next, notice there's a negative on the outside. That's okay, we just know that we'll keep that negative on the outside. We're going to go ahead and do our factor tree, 4 times 7 and 2 times 2. So our prime factorization there is 2 times 2 times 7. Then we can also see that we have 4 x's. Now you need a pair for 1 to come out. So here we have a 2 that will come out, cross that out. We have an x that will come out, cross the next one out. We have another x that will come out, cross the last one out. So what are we left with? We have a negative on the outside, 2, and an x on the outside, and what's left underneath? Square root of 7. And there you have it. So you look for negative 2x times the square root of 7. Oh, whoops, that should be an x squared because 2 x's came out. There you go. You find that on your paper and you could say, oh, is that the very last one? Negative 2x squared square root of 7. And you put an e at the very end of that last one. Hopefully you can see that okay. You put an e right there. Okay. Next, we're going to go on to D. It's still on the upper right-hand side, but I ran out of room. Now, 7 doesn't really factor. X goes x times x. 1 comes out, 1 goes away. The rest are prime. There's only one y, one 7. So I say it's x times the square root of 7y. And that is about halfway there, and we put a D there on that space above there. Okay, the next one, E, has a negative on the outside, kind of the same as E, so over there. So I'm going to skip that one and go on to N. N has 24, 6 times 4, 2 times 2, 2 times 3. So we have 3, 2, 2, 2. And we know that there will be 4 x's and 2 y's. Now, a good way to remember it is if there's an even number of any variable, then they all come out. If there's an odd number, one's going to be left behind. Okay, here we go, 2 times 3. Here we have a 2 and a 2. So 1, 2 is going to come out. The other one, goodbye. So then we have 4 x's here. So 1 comes out, the other one goes away. Another one comes out, the other one goes away. And we have 2 y's. 1 comes out, and 1 goes away. Okay, so what's left underneath? This is pretty messy here. Okay, so we have a 2 comes out, an x squared, 2 x's and 1 y. So we have 2x squared y. And what's left underneath? 2 times 3 is 6. I don't know why I have the big old long thing, but it looks like it's 2x squared y, square root of 6. And that's about halfway over there. And that's where you would put an n. Again, this one n is at the very end on the right-hand side up above. So that's where your n would go, halfway across. Okay? All right. Now we're going to go on to the next one. The bottom, I'm going to do a couple from the bottom. We have 75a squared b to the third. And this is the second one on the bottom half. So I'm going to break down 75 into 25 times 3 and 5 times 5. These are prime factorization. Now we have an even number of a's, so none of them is going to be left underneath. B, there's an odd number, so there's going to be 1 left behind. So a 5 comes out. Say goodbye to the other one. And an A comes out. Say goodbye to the other one. One B comes out. Say goodbye to that one. And 1B is left underneath. So what is left? Oh, what's on the outside? 5AB. And what's left underneath? We still have a 3. No A's because it's even number of A's. And the B is one of them's left behind. So that's what that looks like. Find that at the very bottom. There it is towards the right, almost the end one. And we put E there. Okay, next we go on to S, which is just after E at the top. I'm going to break it down to 6 times 3. And 2 times 3. So here's my prime factorization. There's 6 A's and 2 B's. So since they're both even numbers, none of the variables will be left underneath because there'll be 6 A's, which will transfer to 3 out, 2 B's, which will transfer to only 1 coming out. So I can do B and B, 1 comes out and 1 stays behind, and I can also write a bunch of A's. So a 3 will come out, 1 3 goes away. 1B will come out, and 1B goes away. Now, 3 A's come out, and 3 go away. So what are we left with? We have a 3 and 3 A's, so it's 3A to the third, and 1B comes out. Now, what's left underneath? A 2. Anything else? Nope, I think that's it. So we look at our answer key down below. 3a cubed b times the square root of 2. And that's a little over halfway there. And then we put s there. So s is what will go in that spot. And there's s there. Okay, and then our last one over here. What if there's already a 2 out there? Well, whatever comes out, we just multiply it with the 2. So here we go, 50, 25, and 2, 5, and 5. So here's my prime factorization. Oh, there's only one A. That's an odd number, so I'm just going to leave that one where it's at. And then there's 5 B's. So I'm going to go B, 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 I'm going to run out of room here. Okay. So we see that 5 will come out and multiply with that 2. That one goes away. 2 doesn't have a pair, so it stays. A doesn't have a pair, it stays. Now, 2 B's are going to come out, and 2 B's you say goodbye to. So there's 1 B left behind. So we see there's a 2 and a B left behind. 5 times 2 is 10. Oh, there's also an A under here, right? An A, because no A's came out. And we have 10B squared, because 2 of the B's came out also. So it's 10B squared times 2AB. And we find that in our answer key. And it's the 5th one over, and we put our letter there, which is going to be V. Okay, students, you can get the rest of this. You rock.